Okay, here we are in Abu Dhabi for the penultimate round of the 2011 FI World Championship. Felipe Massa is on pole. They're about to get going. Right out in Abu Dhabi. Everyone making a clean getaway. Lewis Hamilton there, as you can see, making a very good getaway. There he's on the inside. He's going to make it. He's going on the inside. He's into second place. Lewis Hamilton takes second place from 6th on the grid. But Jensen trying to come on the outside. But Lewis Hamilton has the inside into turn 2. Keep second place. Felipe Massa. Great start there from the McLaren driver. McLarens are 2 and 3 behind the Ferrari of Felipe Massa. Lewis Hamilton's having a go into the chicane. No room there for him to hold on to his position for now. Lewis Hamilton really pushing now. Lewis Hamilton goes through. They touch. Felipe Massa and Lewis Hamilton touch into the head. Felipe Massa with a broken front wing. Lewis Hamilton right down the order there. There is just ahead of Rosberg. He's behind Fernando Alonso in the other Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton now having a look at the Ferrari. He's dicing this one and that way. He dummies Alonso, does he? Yes, and he takes the position. Lewis Hamilton back up in the 4th position now. There he just holds on. He runs a little bit wide. That cut onto his exit off the corner. Coming down the second of the long straight. Past the support now. Approaching the chicane. He's got the 2 Red Bulls and his teammate Jensen Button ahead. There he is right behind Sebastian Vettel, is that? Can't see at the moment. There he's looking, but no room to back there. I think he sent a card flying, so he has to be careful. There, Lewis Hamilton pushing hard, he's going for it, but he's messed up his braking on those 3 right-handers. He's now back behind Fernando Alonso. Already this is an exciting race, and we've only had 1 lap, but we haven't even finished that first lap yet. He's now pushing, trying to get past Fernando Alonso. He goes on the inside, he runs wide, but Lewis Hamilton has to finish. So, once again, those 2 Red Bulls and his teammate ahead. Jensen Button leads from the 2 Red Bulls and Lewis Hamilton. There, Mark Webber it is ahead of Lewis Hamilton. My mistake, I'm sorry. There, he's pursuing the Red Bull now. He's trying every single place now to get through. He has the chicane. No DRS yet, of course. But he messes up and he doesn't get the position. He's on the outside and now he goes through. Yes, there's more contact to the head. No damage done there. Lewis Hamilton, no damage as far as I can see from the first lap incident with Felipe Massa. Screaming down that long straight, one of the longest straights in Formula 1. Alonso and Webber side by side. This is absolutely incredible racing here in Abu Dhabi. So pushing now, pushing into the slipstream of Vettel, down that long straight that isn't very straight. They're under braking. He's right up behind the Red Bull now. The German is ahead of him, but only just in this race. There, Hamilton having a look on the outside, no room to pass there. Now there's 3 right-handers in quick succession. 1, 2, 3. No, he's having a look on the inside. No, they touch. No damage done there. Vettel keeps the position. Hamilton is now looking on every single corner now to get past. He's having another one, but no room to get past the German driver there. So now onto the penultimate corner. He's now having a look on the final corner, not really an overtaking opportunity, and he runs wide. Can he hold the position? They're side by side, coming down the start-finish straight. Vettel ahead as they cross the line. It's so close, but Hamilton holds the position into the first corner, but only just there at the inside line. So Lewis Hamilton there getting a little bit of oversteer. Has he chewed his tyres already? Now he did do 2 runs in qualifying on that set of tyres instead of 1. This could hamper him in the race. Though he did make a mistake and was 6th. There he messes up the hairpin. There he gets nowhere near the apex, which is good news for the people who paint the curves. Now pursuing his teammate Jensen Button. It's a McLaren 1-2 at the moment. Hamilton trying to reverse the roles though. They're so late onto the brakes there. He puts 2 wheels onto the curbs. No trouble there though. He's now right behind his teammate. Absolutely right behind him into the slipstream. Coming down past the so-called paddock. Here he comes. Now he's going to have a move on the braking, but I don't think he's close enough. He's had a look, but there's no way he's going through there. He was just too far behind. I think he admitted defeat then. And he'll wait for another opportunity. He's right behind us. Wing to wing. Front wing to rear wing. Through these right-handers. 1, 2. He's having a look. 3. He's through. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix from his teammate Jenson Button. But Jenson's coming right back at him, and just a couple of corners later, Hamilton runs wide. Hamilton is pushed wide by Jenson Button, and Jenson is back in the lead. The foam flyer now in front. And there's a bollard flying. What's that? I think it may have been a bollard. I'm not sure. It could be front wing damage. They did touch on the final corner. No, Lewis Hamilton has escaped damage and now goes through on the inside. There's definitely no damage there. Jenson Button has a look, but he's too far behind. But Hamilton's tyres are going off. He's losing grip very quickly. There, Jenson Button now with the DRS. There, and Vettel has caught them. Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull. There's now a train of 3 of them in this Grand Prix. Behind Lewis Hamilton, who has a very early apex. That won't help him. He won't be able to get the top one very quickly. And Jenson Button and Vettel will have the DRS down this massive straight, one of the longest straights in Formula 1. Down he goes. Then they lose a lane to try and make the front row of the grandstand. See back to Jenson has a look at the next better of it. This time there, and Hamilton runs wide. Hamilton has run wide, and Jenson Button having a look on the outside of the curve, even though it's not officially classed as one, it's classed as a straight. Jenson Button having a look. Hamilton pitching slightly to make Jenson rethink, and Hamilton keeps position, as does Jenson Button, as does Sebastian Vettel. No position changes at the moment in the top 3. Hamilton going for a very defensive line. That remain low corner springs, and now Webber and Alonso have caught up to the train. There's now 5 of them, all scrapping for the lead here in Abu Dhabi. This is already the best race we've had here, and Webber goes on the inside of Sebastian Vettel. Webber takes Sebastian Vettel for 3rd place. Hamilton runs wide, and now Webber's taken him. 2 drivers in 2 corners from Mark Webber. But that was an absolute disaster for Lewis Hamilton, who loses 2 positions in a single corner. His tyres are going off, and he runs wide onto the final corner as well. There is having oversteer on corner exit. Now Sebastian Vettel in the slipstream. He was going to try and take 4th off the McLaren driver. And he runs miles wide at the first corner. Lewis Hamilton is really struggling with his tyres now. There, and in turn 2. Good grief, Lewis Hamilton really struggling out there with oversteer. But he's holding on to 4th at the moment. And Vettel having a look on the second part of the chicane. Hamilton runs wide. Vettel pushed him wide, sorry. Vettel forcing him wide, but Hamilton keeps position. But Vettel and Alonso both on the DRS, and Alonso is side by side with Sebastian Vettel. This is allowing Lewis Hamilton to try and make a break for it. But the other 2 have the DRS. And who is going to have the position, Vettel or Alonso? It looks to be Vettel, and it is Vettel. Vettel keeping the position for Alonso, but only just. There's still a while left, and Hamilton running wide on that chicane yet again as they come onto the support pit straight. That is not the actual pit straight, but it is the support races or configurations of the track. And Hamilton goes screaming past Mark Webber, very nearly taking out the Aussie. He's very close there, and he very nearly takes out the bollard as well. Good try for Hamilton to avoid the Red Bull. So here comes Lewis Hamilton now through the 3 right-handers there, and he's run wide on the second right-hander. That's going to compromise him all the way through the next corner or 2, but he's caught up to Mark Webber. He's going to have a look soon. He's having a look. He's going to go on the inside on the outside corner. Does he do it? He's side by side with Mark Webber, but he's coming into the pits anyway. His tyres are absolutely finished on that McLaren. That was a good call for McLaren. So they're also out are the Red Bull mechanics for Vettel, the Ferrari mechanics, the Mercedes mechanics as well. They was held up by the arrival of Alonso, and now out are the Sauber and Toro Rosso mechanics. Everybody's pitting, but Hamilton is the first driver to pit. There he locks up on his way into the tunnel. They have this unique tunnel. It's agonisingly slow apparently for drivers. They don't really like it that much. And Hamilton's rejoined well down the order. He's going to have a job now to fight his way through the traffic which he's rejoined in. But I think they called him in at the right time. 1 lap longer and he would have been spinning like a spinning top really. All over the place. He's got Alguersuari ahead of him. Jaime Alguersuari in the Toro Rosso is the next driver for Lewis Hamilton. He's got the slipstream, but he's only got a very small slipstream. He's quite a long way. There he's... No, he can't take Alguersuari on the long straight, but he's got the slight curve, which is classed as a straight for the support paddock. A massive grandstand there to watch Lewis Hamilton. Have a look at Jaime Alguersuari. There, here he is. He's under braking. He's last of the lane. He nudges Alguersuari. Is there any damage to the McLaren? They do touch. I can't see any damage there to the McLaren. That was a very hairy moment. Lewis Hamilton, who now gets back Jaime Alguersuari. He pushes him wide. Alguersuari and Hamilton touch about 4 times in that corner. Hamilton runs wide but keeps in position. So next up on his hit list is Sergio Perez. There he puts 2 wheels on the AstroTurf. That won't be helping him. And now Hamilton goes for it. And they touch. Both of them run wide. But Sergio Perez gets in position. Now they go through. They touch again. Perez is pushed wide by Lewis Hamilton, who takes the position from Sergio Perez. And he runs wide on the penultimate corner. He may have dust on his tyres, which is probably likely. Or his tyres are getting fully up to speed. One of the Lotus Renaults coming into the pits. There, and I think he's taken the lead. Yes, he's taken the lead. I just saw Jenson Button leaving the pits. So Lewis Hamilton is back in the lead of Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So he has got the undercut on his teammate and Mark Webber. Through the pit stop later, 2 wheels off the track there. And he takes out a bollard. He's taken out a bollard. It's still stuck under the car. Now it comes out from underneath the car. As he goes through the head. There he's on his own down the straight. There he's... Ooh, what's going on there? There he had 4 wheels off the track down the straight. And as he comes down into the braking zone, last of the late breakers, Lewis Hamilton, he went off. He braked miles too late on one of them. And he braked too late, and that's what cost him. And he was down to 6th on the grid here in Abu Dhabi. So, Lewis Hamilton, really late breaker in this. But what can he do? He's already putting in fastest sector times. Will that be of any help to him? I don't know. Really pushing so hard in the McLaren. There he misses the apex again. He goes way too deep into that corner. And he's broken his front wing. Lewis Hamilton off the track under the hotel and smashes his front wing. He's going to have to pit. His entire front wing is gone. So here he goes. He comes agonisingly slow. He's going to have no front downforce coming into the tight pit lane. And he's stopping. Lewis Hamilton stopping. He very nearly went straight into the end of the pit wall. He has to reverse a couple of feet. And, well, he could be facing the stewards by reversing on the track, but I don't think there was much he could have done there. He pulls into the McLaren pit box. It's an absolute disaster for Lewis Hamilton. He's going to have a hell of a job getting into the top 5. But the team put him on the harder tyres, new tyres, so now he can really go for it. Probably a good call from the McLaren team, and if he's going to salvage anything from this race, he's going to be able to do it now. He locks up again leaving the pits. He's pushing like crazy now, but he's rejoined well down the order. I think he may get a top 5 finish if he really pushes, but these harder tyres are probably going to last a bit longer. As he's catching Vitaly Petrov in the Lotus Renault, he runs a little bit wide, and he goes through on the Lotus Renault. There, but he's gone too deep. Vitaly Petrov retakes him, but Hamilton has the DRS down that long straight under the Pirelli banners, and Hamilton has the position quite clearly from Vitaly Petrov. Fantastic bit of driving there from those two. Very clean, well, fairly about as clean as you're going to get. There, he cuts the corner a little bit there, and he knocks a bollard off. Or was that front wing? I can't tell. He's got Hyper and the other Lotus Renault ahead of him. It was just a bollard for Lewis Hamilton. He goes on the outside through the kink, but Hyper's going to have the inside. But Lewis Hamilton goes straight on. very nearly taking Michael Schumacher off. Again, Lewis Hamilton way too late on the brakes, and now he goes inside Michael Schumacher. He gave the position back, so shouldn't go to the stewards for that, but he's past Michael Schumacher now. There, he's got Fernando Alonso. Is that ahead? Yes, he's got Alonso ahead of him, and he's going for it. He's through. They touch, and Alonso's in the barrier. Broken front wing. There's yellow flags. Alonso breaks his front wing. Absolutely unbelievable moment in this Grand Prix. I don't think they touched enough. I think Hamilton may have just nudged him, and the rear stepped out. Alonso tries to correct it, but that was a truly dramatic moment in this Grand Prix. Absolutely unbelievable. This race already is it's a treat. This really is going down and a treat. This is stunning. He's got Sebastian Vettel, the other driver who pitted early. There, and Hamilton has a look on the inside. They touch. Vettel's on the marbles, and Hamilton has the DRS to sprint away from the Red Bull. This is good driving there from both of them. He's got Nico Rosberg ahead of him. Hamilton up into 4th place now, trying to wrestle a podium. Sorry, he's trying to wrestle 4th from Nico Rosberg. No, he is trying to wrestle 3rd, sorry, my mistake. And now he takes 3rd. I got very confused then, and he's got the 3rd place from the Mercedes driver. Into the closing stages now of the Grand Prix. He's got Webber and Button ahead of him. There they are. There he cuts a corner again. He's going to get a penalty if he keeps doing this. Lewis Hamilton now really pushing hard to try and catch the two ahead of him. One of them is his teammate. He goes off, trying to extract everything from the circuit, the car, and himself. So Lewis Hamilton now has already reeled in Mark Webber. Absolutely sensational drive. It's going to be a new fastest lap. No, it's not, because he pitted. But 2 fastest sectors, and he goes inside. He's inside Mark Webber for 2nd place. Mark Webber fighting back. Mark Webber has the inside into turn 2. This is good driving from both of them. And Hamilton has oversteer. Has he already destroyed his tyres? He goes miles off the track because of the oversteer. He takes out yet another bollard. There, he's got oversteer. Has he chewed up the tyres already? There he goes on the outside of Mark Webber. They touch, and Hamilton has no answer to that. He goes through the marbles, and that was a truly dramatic moment in this Grand Prix. So here comes Lewis Hamilton now. He's pushing, and he's through. He's past Mark Webber. Fantastic stuff, and he goes straight on. Very nearly taking out Jenson Button. He was so close to hitting his teammate. Lewis Hamilton makes it a McLaren 1-2 so far, but this race is not over yet. These two are going to go for it. This is absolutely incredible. The two McLaren teammates. Here we go then. This is coming up. They're right to the end of the race. This is going to go down to the wire. Hamilton is crawling out all over his McLaren teammate. The front. Hamilton goes off. There. He's still off the road. He can't get back on. Button's in his way. Button trying to get this win. Hamilton trying to wrestle it from him right towards the end of the race. Here he comes. Lewis Hamilton, and Hamilton goes through, but if he runs wide. Big mistake there. Into the closing stages of this race. He runs wide at the final corner as well. Hamilton really pushing now. He can see his chances of victory slipping away slightly. He's right behind his McLaren teammate, and he has to go for it. And he's really pushing now. Hamilton is trying to correct the mistake, but Jenson Button's been in Formula 1 since 2000. He knows how to control it. He knows how to defend, and he's not going to crack that easily. In fact, he's pulled away a little bit from Lewis Hamilton, who goes right. He overfooted. He's on the marbles, and Mark Webber goes back through. Both of them have the DRS. So there, Hamilton in the slipstream of Mark Webber. They're side by side down the long straight. Mark Webber seems to have it, but Lewis Hamilton on the brakes. And he goes for Jensen Button, but can't quite make it. Just avoiding that bollard in the process. This is absolutely incredible. This is the best Abu Dhabi Grand Prix so far, by a mile. In fact, by the length of that straight. So, he's coming up on Jensen Button. It's wing to wing once again with the McLarens. These two cars, absolutely brilliant. The L-shaped side pods, really distinctive. They've served McLaren well so far this season. It's very nearly ending as twilight falls on the 2011 season. Hamilton goes for it. Hamilton takes it. But he's overcooked it again. He locks up, runs wide. Jensen Button retakes the position on the final lap here in Abu Dhabi. And Hamilton now swarming around all over his McLaren teammate. There's only 2 corners to go and Hamilton goes for it. Hamilton takes the lead. He stays on the road on the penultimate corner. And he wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix by taking the lead on the penultimate corner here in Abu Dhabi. Jensen Button makes it a McLaren 1-2 and a British 1-2 at that, with Mark Webber completing the podium in 3rd. Meanwhile, after starting from position, Felipe Massa finished a lowly 18th, following the first lap collision with Lewis Hamilton, who was not penalised for any part of the race. The collision with Felipe Massa was deemed a racing incident, as was the one with his other Ferrari, Fernando Alonso.